Hi there, my name's Anna. I'm a high energy member here at Headspace, and welcome to our second Headspace Digital Work and Study Service webinar. Last month, we had a discussion about the hospitality industry and working in a cafe. This month, we're going to meet the digital work and study service team and find out about the work that they do with young people. So first, I'd like to ask Carolyn, could you provide a bit of an overview about the program and how it was developed?
I'd love to. So the Digital Work and Study Service really started in 2012. It was a very small program and it really popped up because we have an online clinical service and the young people that were turning up to that service were requiring really specific support around work and study, and I guess that makes sense considering the age group of the people that Headspace works with, 12 to 24, going through some significant transition in the work and study space. So the program was developed and there was a huge need for the service. There were a lot of young people wanting to access it, and we really only had one person working to support those young people. We knew we needed to find another funding source and really test this service in an expanded form. So we were successful to get some funding through the Department of Employment, which enabled us to bring on board 5 work and study specialists, which you're going to meet very shortly. I guess the key messages I'd like to put forward is the Digital Work and Study Service is there to support you with work and study support, whether you're having difficulties when you're in work or in study, or you're looking to transition out or looking for work. So we provide a whole diverse, range of supports for young people. You get a specific caseworker and they're committed to work with you on a regular basis. It's through a digital medium, so it could be over the phone or through web chat or through another different type of technology, whatever suits you. But that makes it really accessible, especially for people in regional areas. It really addresses the issue of transport, because essentially you've got that service in your own home whenever you need it. The other important point about this service, which makes it different to other services, we've got clinical support. So we've actually got specific support if you've got a mental health issue or you just want some specific counselling. And the other key thing is this is a service for you. You get to drive it. You get to make your own choices. We're here to support you and coach you. So the expertise in this group is going to be able to help you, get a better understanding of your own strengths and experiences and interests and passions, to be able to identify your next career choice and build some achievable goals for you and help you in achieving those goals. So I guess that's the difference, and we call it a strength-based approach, and that's the approach because we believe it should be an enjoyable experience this time, and you should get the right positive support while you're looking for work and study.
Beautiful, great, thank you. Now I'd just like to hear from the rest of the team. Just introduce yourself, about your background and what your role is in the service. If you want to start with Jess.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Jess. I'm the mental health clinician with the Digital Work and Study Service. And I guess going on from what Carolyn was saying, my role is to provide mental health support to any young person accessing our service, and that can, be around a particular mental health concern, or feeling stressed or worried, or any of the other challenges that come up along the way when you're looking for work and study. And my background is in mental health with headspace, and I've also worked in community mental health with young people as well.
And hi, I'm Lee from the Digital Work and Study team. The main part of my role is helping young people get into work or get support with study. And we do a lot of things, but I'll let everybody else.
I'm Claire. I'm also a Digital Work and Study Specialist team member. My background is I've been a career advisor for over 10 years.
Yeah, I apologise for the answer to that last question. What I meant to say is my background is in employment services, and that was specialising in mental health support. Thanks, Claire, for that segue.
My name's Carolyn. I'm the manager of the service, and I'm just here to support the team.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm the Digital Work and Study Coordinator, and I've been working for over 10 years helping young people experiencing mental health difficulties back into work and study.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm from the Digital Work and Study team as well. My background's in youth work and in community work as well.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm a digital work and study specialist, and my background's in teaching.
Great, thank you guys. Joe, would you be able to describe to us what young people usually work with in the team?
Yeah, so we're funded to work with young people from 15 to 24-year-olds, and we work with young people from the beginning of that range until the end of it. And they're young people seeking help with work or study, and that could be trying to find work or trying to get into study, or trying to maintain that work if they're having health problems possibly and they're struggling to keep up with that job, or they've just started a new job and it's harder than they might have thought. And the same with study. If they've just started study and finding it really difficult, we're there to support them and help them maintain that. So it's really people in that age bracket of 15 to 24 that are seeking support with either starting something new, whether it be a new job, new work or study, or trying to keep on top of that job or that university course or high school, and that's what we're here to do.
Great, thank you. Lee, what are the young people that you work with mostly seeking help?
And so mainly the young people that come to the service are seeking support to find work, I find, and I think that they need a lot of help around the application process, like cover letters and really refining that. And it's great having members of the team that have got that specialty, and we all help in that area of really refining that application so that it gives you a better chance, or the young people we work with. And I think sometimes the confidence to contact employers and showing and empowering the young people how to make that approach to employers and follow up once they put that application in, because that's really rare.
Jen, what are the focus groups for the service?
Yeah, so the focus groups for the service are early school leavers, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, and young people who are from regional areas. But that's not to say that we can't work with young people outside of those focus groups. So as Joe mentioned, anyone between the age of 15 and 24 who needs assistance with getting into work and study, we can help.
Great, okay. And Lisa, how does this program reach young people and how do they access the service?
So we're going to show you a video a little bit later about how you can access our service, but the main thing is that you can go to the Headspace website and say you want support for work and study, and you can contact us via phone, email, or you can also log in and have a chat with us. The other thing as well is that we can also receive a referral from your Headspace Centre. So we could possibly receive a referral from your Headspace Centre, and that way it kind of means that if you're connected to them for mental health, we could sort of keep contact with them on a regular basis as well, so that we're all sort of on the same page around supporting you and what you need support for with your work and study.
Beautiful. Okay. And Claire, how does the digital work and study service work with other organisations outside of?
Actually, a really nice question, leading from what Lisa just said. Yeah. So we're linking with Headspace Centres, as Lisa just talked about, also eHeadspace, which is the online support centre. And we also collaborate with job service providers, disability employment services and transition to work programs as well. I think a really important thing to be aware of there is if you are linked in with those programs, that you still need to attend their appointments or their goals, basically, because our programs are different services.
Okay. So Joe, what resources does the service provide to young people seeking help with work and study?
Yeah, so probably the best resource we provide is all of this wonderful people and the connections experience that they have. So the ability to assist with really practical things like writing resumes and cover letters, but also connections to business communities around Australia. I think that's probably the most valuable resource. The other excellent resources we have are these webinars. So this is the second of the webinars, and the other webinars are focused on industries. So last month we did one, and that's up on our website that you can see. It's kind of an introduction of how to get involved in the hospitality industry. And then next month we'll be looking at how to get involved in the construction industry. And there'll be an opportunity to give some suggestions for that later as well. So there's these industry webinars and the website, which is really fantastic, full of amazing resources. I'm just going to put a video up on the screen now that kind of gives you an overview of all those resources. From our website, what you can see is all these great resources that we've got available, and on each of those pages are resources and advice. So this video will be up on our website, you'll be able to check it, but basically for each video on our website, each page has links to things like how to get started in a job, looking for a job, now we're underway, tips with job interviews, how to start, what happens when you start a new job, so things like getting ready for your first day at work, managing your mental health, and some advice on disclosing mental health issues at work, your workplace rights, so understanding if you're being paid the minimum wage or not, or if you're experiencing anything like bullying at work as well, different education avenues and learning options like TAFE and other study options. And each of those pages has got fantastic links as well. So our next page, financing, we give a bit of advice around things like that as well. So things like Centrelink, different courses and course providers that we have connections with, but also helping you sometimes talk to those institutions as well. Student services, some tips on working on your mental health and emotional health, and that's the sort of thing Jess works with. So there's some really good tips there just about how to de-stress, maybe after work or in preparation for study. Surviving your school exams, how to find jobs, how to explore career opportunities, and how to make a career plan. So that's all of those, and full of great resources under each one of those as well.
Question.
Yeah, let's get into the next question.
Great. Okay, Jen, can you tell us a bit about the mock interviews and how they work?
Yeah, absolutely, Anna, and perfect timing.
Yeah.
So the mock interviews are a unique opportunity to get real life interview experience with a panel of 3 corporate professionals. And young people are able to do that in the company recruiting. They will go through your resume and your application prior to your interview and give you feedback on that. You'll then have a round, or the young person will have around a 45-minute interview. At that point, the team will stop the interview. The young people are able to reflect on how they feel they did and what they can improve on. And then they receive some really valuable critiquing from the interview panel on how they interviewed. So unlike your normal interview experience, where if you're lucky, an employer may tell you that there was a more successful applicant who had better experience than you, you'll get point-by-point feedback, or the young person will, on how to improve their interview skills. So it's a really valuable experience.
Sounds very
And we have those about once a month as part of the service with different corporate professionals.
Great. Okay. Lisa, can you explain in detail about your work with young people seeking help and with this study?
Yeah, sure. So basically what we do, like I said earlier, you can make contact with us via the website, and we would try and get in contact with you within a couple of days after you contact us. So maximum sort of 1 to 2 days. So we'd either give you a call or send you an email, or maybe even do both. In terms of what we do from there, it would be organising, just a quick chat on the phone to say, hey, when would you be free for an initial appointment? So the initial appointment would probably be about an hour for us to go through your background in terms of what you've completed in work or study before, and trying to figure out where you want to go with the program and what type of goals you want to achieve in the program. So in that discussion, we'd go through our privacy and permission. So it's just a bit of a 5-minute conversation around privacy and permission, and letting you know what is sort of required within our program. And then once that's done, we don't need to go through it again in our further discussions or further work. It just means that we'll talk then also about, at the end of that session, about whether you like weekly support or fortnightly support, or it may even mean that we sort of negotiate that depending on what you need. As Carolyn mentioned earlier, we can give you more frequent support if you need it as well. And then in terms of what we do with you, it's really about what you need. So in terms of study options, it might be sort of figuring out that, you know, you want to get into an IT course. So we might look at some courses in your area and see if, you know, any of them are suitable for you or spark your interest. And then we'd sort of support you in trying to apply for the course and find out anything around, you know, Centrelink if you wanted to get some support while you're studying. And then also talk to you about whether work's something you want to achieve as well. And maybe even work on some resumes or some applications around part-time work if you're wanting to study full-time and work part-time or something like that.
Great. Leading on with that, Claire, could you explain how you work with young people on their resumes and their cover letters?
Yeah, sure. I think that's a great question after listening again. Definitely, you know, helping to get jobs. Jo's actually got an example there. Would you mind popping that up, Jo, of a resume? So this is a resume that has been worked on, or sorry, this was the original resume a young person sent in. So I guess the biggest thing with our work is that we tailor resumes. We help you tailor your resume to fit the job you're going for. So for every job you apply for, it needs to be tweaked, and that's with the cover letter as well. So this is just to give you an example of, yeah, this was the original resume the young person sent in, and then what we worked on. Jo, if you could show the final one. So to get to this final one you're about to see, it's about doing what Lisa was talking about there, brainstorming of your skills, your experience, your knowledge, looking at the job area or industry you want to go into, and looking at how to bring that out and really brand yourself, which I think we touched on earlier as well about your resume. So, you know, to get to that draft, I think that was 4 drafts that I worked with that person on. So it's a back and forth process basically between us or whoever you're working with within the team. But yeah, you'll go away with the confidence, understanding your skills better, but also you knowing you're applying, you know, your skills within that industry that you want to go to.
That sounds like a very supportive process for the young person.
And the great thing about that, I guess, the team has so much knowledge, we can all collaborate together on it if need be. Yeah.
Okay, and Jess, what kind of mental health support does the service offer?
Sure. So our mental health support is through web chat or on the phone. And really, you know, it can range from anything from sort of feeling a little bit perhaps stressed or worried about, you know, how things are going in terms of work and study or even other life stuff. It could be relationships or, you know, just feeling like something's not quite right. We usually can do weekly support, but again, that sort of is a bit like what Lisa was saying before, that varies depending upon where you're at with things. And another good, I suppose, thing to keep in mind too is that part of my job is helping young people to, I guess, identify what is going on for them and helping to link them in with face-to-face support if that's something that they're wanting to do. Yeah, very, very flexible support setup and can range from having one session just to see what you think to sort of having some ongoing sessions.
Great, thank you. And Caroline, how does the digital work and study service different to a traditional employment service?
Okay, so I guess you've got 2 choices for your traditional employment service. You've got job active providers or the disability employment service providers. To access those services, there is an eligibility requirement. So we make it really clear there's no eligibility except an age group. So realistically, you need to be between 15 and 24 to access this service. That's really simple. You might already be working with a disability employment service provider or a job active provider, and that's fine. You can still access this service. And the reason why you might still want to access this service, I guess, picks up another difference, and that is our caseloads. These guys work with 20 young people at a time, if that. It's very different to other larger organisations. They work with much, much higher numbers, which means that you just don't get that individual intensive support. Everyone here is going to remember your name and you're going to feel valued and you're going to get the support that you need. And that brings me to the next point. It is a strength-based approach and it's driven by you. We want you to be the driver of this and we're going to give you all of the support around that. but really it's about you making your own choices, and that is a big difference because it's voluntary. You're choosing to come to this service, and you're going to be choosing what sort of work you want to get into or what sort of study you're interested in. Sometimes you don't know, and we can certainly help you identify, what you might be interested in and help you get closer to that. But we certainly don't dictate it. The other thing is that we have clinical support. Not many other services have that. And the final thing is that we work with young people. Headspace has years and years of experience working with young people, and certainly young people that are going through some difficult and challenging times. And everybody here has that expertise and background, and so young people come first, and that's the sort of support you'll get with this service.
See, I know Lisa's already touched on this, but can you explain to me how young people can access this service?
Yeah, sure. I think, Lisa, you mentioned the website, and I would go on to say, the 1-800 number to add to that. And then also, if they're already engaged with the clinical support too, just to mention to their clinical support at eHeadspace that they'd like to speak to us. Yeah, that's the other way I would say. Great. Yeah.
I'll show the video then. It's just about how to log on, just kind of showing. That's the video that's going through your login process there. And so the video only goes for 2 minutes, so it really shows that it's really quite straightforward to log on. And once you've logged on via the Work and Study Service website or via eHeadspace, you can select what you're logging on for, and if you click Work and Study, then that's going to go to one of the people here in our team, and you can either send an email or you can go on to web chat. So that's a really easy way to access and start communicating with the service and start getting help from the service.
Great, thank you. Now we've come to the questions time from young people. We'd like to answer poll questions on the idea for future digital work and study service webinars. So we've got a poll for you here.
So if you can just type in any ideas for future webinars, so any industries that you think as a young person you'd like to find out about how to get involved with, or if you work with young people, then what you think might be really useful for them. So the industry webinars will give an overview of that industry, but mostly it's focused on giving really useful tips on how to get into that industry. So any ideas there, just type it in. I'm going to leave that down in your right-hand panel so you can think on that and hopefully type in some great ideas that we can address later this year and next year as well in our industry webinar series.
Beauty, thanks, Joe. Some other questions that we've been asked by young people, and we can open this up to everyone here, is can I still get help if I don't have access to the internet?
So absolutely, young people can access the service via the 1-800 number, which will be at the end of this webinar. So they can certainly phone in and we can call them back. So you don't have to have access to the internet or a computer.
Beautiful, thank you. If I work with a digital work and study service, do I still need to see my job service provider to get Centrelink payments?
Yes.
Yes.
You do. Yeah. You do. We strongly encourage you to, yeah. Yeah.
Well, the answer is sure.
Well, yes, you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in year 10 and want to get a part-time job. Can you help me with that?
Sure, we can. Yep. So yeah, we would sort of work with you on your resume and look at whether you've had any work experience through school possibly and add that to your resume. Talking to you about your key skills and your key strengths and adding that to your resume, as well as talking to you about different strategies to approach employers. So whether you go in person, do some online applications. We'll sort of talk to you about a range of different ways that you can get a part-time job. Yeah.
I hate talking on the phone and don't like sharing my personal information. Can I still get help?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because we work with young people that feel this way. So it's very common that, we'll have to talk over the phone. I'm not very confident doing that. So like we start on web chat, and that's definitely something we can do, or email. And then if you're ready and when you're ready, we'll have the chat around getting on the phone, because that's always good to get ready to get on the phone, because your future employers are going to expect you to be able to talk to them and customers. We coach you in that.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, thanks. I don't have a resume and I don't really know what one is. Can I still get help?
You sure can. We've worked with people who have no resumes and may not, have much skill or don't know what their skills are, and we definitely start, as we've all talked about, from that skill strength based and understanding who you are, and then we build it into the resume and the job, looking at industry focus as well. So absolutely.
Sometimes I get really stressed when I have assignments due and think I should just drop out of uni. Can you guys help with that?
Absolutely. That's something we've dealt with quite a lot. And especially with that stress thing, that's one of the valuable things having Jess in the team, that sometimes we might direct you to work one-on-one with Jess and she'll communicate with you, or we'll make sure that you're getting mental health support face-to-face from a headspace centre or another counsellor, and giving you really good strategies of how to de-stress, manage your time so that you don't get stressed in the first place, and really see those assignments in the greater context of your life as well. So that's something that everyone in the team's got really good skills with, and very willing to assist people that are having trouble keeping up with the university courses.
Great, thank you. Those are the questions that we have here. I'd like to throw it over to anyone who has any questions up there.
Oh, they were picked off here.
They were picked off there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for all the great questions from the viewers, and thank you for tuning in today. Next month's webinar, we'll look at how to get started with the construction industry. So thank you for all of you.
Cool. I'm just going to pop our contact details up on the screen now so that everyone can see.
Yeah. The Headspace Digital Work and Study Service will help with you find the right job, course, or training that suits your skills and interests. If you're unsure about what you want to do, it will also help with you to explore career options. The service can also help you through some of those really challenging times when you're in a job or in your studies. You can talk to your own caseworker through the phone, web chat, or technology as often as you need. If you're between 15 and 24 of age, you can access the service. This is the only eligibility. It is free and voluntary. You can use the service even if you're engaged with other agencies like job active providers or disability employment services. This service puts you in control. You get as much support as you need when and where you need it. The service is accessible anywhere. You can even get a counsellor if you need some extra support around your mental health. If you need some trusted, youth-friendly expert help with work or study, or just want to know more about the service, use the contact details on your screen now. Give it a go. It'll be worth it.
Thanks everyone for tuning into our second webinar, and we hope to see you, I hope you see us next month for our little introduction to the construction industry.